Welcome, everyone, to another great episode of Tea Time with Tommy.
Sarah.
And as you guys know, I have once again my very good friend Sarah TAPLIN, who's been gracious enough to join us. Thank you, Sarah, for coming on the show.
You're welcome. I'm so happy to be here.
Thank you, Sarah. All right, let's jump into it. So, ladies and gentlemen, Sarah and I will be talking about the MLB and its current status. They're on limbo. Is the season going to restart? Sarah, I got to ask you, what do you think about the MLB? They keep giving the Players Association different, like the same offer, but in different methods.
They think they're stupid. They actually think like these people don't have a brain and wouldn't like calculate how much each option makes and compare them, because if you're just going to reword it and you're giving the same amount each option, like it doesn't make sense. Maybe like they were looking at it more as like games to whatever ratio, like maybe they might like this for this many games, but like they all end up being the same amount of pay for whatever it is. So it's like, say I'm playing like 100 games, but the next offer I'm playing this like 60 games, but I'm getting paid the same amount for both. It's just like, what?
No, totally agree. But like, I mean, it's like that video with Andrew McCutcheon.
All right, buddy. Here's your water.
No, I want juice.
What about water in this cup?
No juice.
I know we agreed on juice. But what about water? What about water in a bottle?
No juice.
What about water in a coffee mug? You love your coffee mugs.
No juice.
Look, it doesn't matter that we agreed on juice. I'm your dad, and you're drinking water. Now, either you drink this water, or you don't drink anything at all. Who's thirsty?
He kept showing, it was a parody. I don't know if you've seen it, Sarah. Basically, he's giving his kid, he's giving his child water, but his child wants juice. So he's like, give me juice. He's like, no. Do you want the water in a vase? Do you want the water in a water bottle, a teacup? And the kid's like, his child's like, just give me juice. And he's like, listen, this is all you're going to get, the water. So it's a parody of what the owners and the MLB commissioners doing with the players.
Yeah, it's true.
So like, let's just say, okay, so basically, Sarah, reports are MLB Commissioner Robert Manfred and the head of the MLB PA, Executive Director Tony Clark, has spoken in the past day or so. And there's momentum building that there's a chance they could start the season, but it will be a 60-game season with 10 to 16 teams in the playoffs. What is your thoughts on that?
I'm just curious at how they're going to do it. Like, I think it's fine, like, obviously, to cut it down because we've lost so many months that would have been, but, like, they're probably going to have to, like, push it back just slightly a bit, too. But I'm just curious at where and how they're going to do it, because if we compare it to, like, what the NBA and the soccer league as well, like, they're both in Orlando at Disney, like, quarantined in that bubble. But it's, like, with baseball, like, these fields are so large, and like, where are you going to hold all these players? Because there's way more players on the baseball team than on like a basketball team. So it's like, just where and how are you going to make it function? I know the states are less restrictive than we are here in Canada, but I also think that shows in the numbers. Like, we have less cases and we're doing way better than the Americans who might think this isn't as big of a problem as it is. But then you also have to think, if everyone's predicting another wave to hit in September, what happens then? Like, do they cancel the season again? Like,
oh, absolutely. But hey, there's reports there that 60-game season could be very exciting because now the teams have to play hard every game. So I mean, hey, could be exciting now.
But like, what are they doing? Are they doing doubles back to back? Like, that's a lot for pitchers, for example. Like, they can't be pitching that frequently and that much. So like, yes, they try and give it their all during the season, but like, let's be honest, like, some of them might not play as hard near the end because they know they've already made it and they don't really need to, and they switch people out. But like, if you're like pushing that hard and then you go straight into these playoffs, you need to push again. Like, will your players be able to withstand something like that?
That is a very good point, Sarah, you made. I was looking at the reports. They weren't specific if it's going to be back-to-back. I highly doubt that would happen if they have to play 60 straight games back-to-back. But that is a good question. There's going to be breaks in between, as usual. They're going to start probably mid-July, they said, or early July till they want to go till October or September.
But here's
So, I
the
mean,
But here's the thing, if they think they're going to start then, they need to have known before now to be having all these players come back to these regions, because the NBA has known for a few weeks now that they're going to be doing it in Orlando, and they're only starting at the end of July.
yeah,
So, like,
I mean,
they're going to start like mid-July and have everything prepared and like have all these people flown in. Like, what if someone went back to, like, let's say the Dominican, for example, during this quarantine because it's been so long, and they're in the Dominican, but they can't get back because there's no flights leaving the Dominican.
oh, it's a good, like, it's a lot of obstacles. A good point to bring up, Sarah. There's a lot of obstacles in restarting a baseball season. And not only the MLB, you got the NBA, like you mentioned, the NHL, even the NFL, your favorite league. They're having contemplations of whether they're going to start the season. So
Yeah.
it will remains to be seen. Have to ask, if the season does not start, would you blame the owners or the players?
You can't blame either of them. Like, this is a situation where literally nobody has been through something like this in our lifetime. This is new for every single person out here. The last time something like this happened in the world was literally 100 years ago. Same time, like a similar virus where it was killing, but it was killing more people in their 20s than elders, like we're seeing now. But like, you can't blame either side. Both sides, it's a business for both of them. So like, they both have to look out for themselves at the end of the day. You just gotta go with the flow and figure things out. Everyone's in new territory, treading new water, and you just gotta learn how to swim.
Absolutely, and yeah, like it was like 100 years ago. It was the unfortunate. I forget what it was, but yeah, they had a definite pandemic at that time. Just
Mhm.
unfortunate. Now, there's a pandemic now. Yeah, like I mean, you really can't blame either. Or I'd blame the owners more, but that's just me because they
Blame
haven't.
the owners, because they gotta look out for themselves just as much as the players gotta look out for themselves. Like, you gotta think of it this way: at the end of the day, the owners got more at risk than the players do, because the owners, like, this is their business. They're just like contracting people in, but this is their business. Like, for example, let's give it Good Life, because we both work at Good Life. Patch owns Good Life, so that's his business. We are contracted into that business. So at the end of the day, that business goes down. My hands are clean, but like, Patch got a lot to deal with. So like, you got to think of the owners in that sense. Like, this is their business. Like, they got to look out for their business at the end of the day, first and foremost, before they look out for players. Just like players try and look out for themselves before they look out for their teammates. You know what I mean?
No, that's a good point. You're right, sir. You don't. Neither fault. They both have good, valid points, both sides, but remains to be seen. Remains to be seen. But very good point, Sarah. I would have to ask, which team do you think will lose the most if the season cancels? In regards to, they had a good team to win the championship this year.
I don't know who has a good team to win the championship.
The Toronto Blue Jays.
No, they don't have a good chance to win the championship. I don't follow baseball to the extent of knowing which players are on free agency and which players are on contract to know which team would be losing out, say they didn't play. But at the same time, if they don't play, then their contracts, I don't know how they handle the players' contracts. And I bet you none of this is in the contracts, because they've never dealt with something like this to know that they'd have to put this in a contract. Like, does the contract automatically get pushed to the next year? Or is everyone on free agency that was on free agency back on free agency, but the people on contract, their contract is just nulled for a year and they continue again?
Yeah, like I mean, it's just my opinion, sir. Like, once again, I'm not sure exactly who's going to be free agent next year, and all that certain uncertainties. But yeah, so basically, like the Yankees have the most to lose, I think.
But why do you say the Yankees? I'm curious.
They got the same players coming back. The majority, they lost some of the free agency, but they got the bulk of it coming back, like Stanton and Judge. And then you have Garrett Cole.
Most people are on like 10-year contracts. Like they're not going anywhere.
Yeah, that's Bryce Harper. But yeah, so I mean, remains to be seen. However, on a fun question, the Blue Jays, how do you think they do if the season restarted? Hey, come on!
Kidding.
Do you give us a shot? Do you give the Jays a chance to even to compete?
Absolutely not.
You
Blue Jays ever win? Like, let's be honest now. Like, they're really good at like building themselves up, and then they're like on the right path in the right direction, and then they're like, don't want to go that way anymore, and then they start to go this way. They go, they're like getting gonna go that way. They like.
Ladies and gentlemen, you have to forgive Sarah because we both live in Toronto right now, and you know, like I'm sure she doesn't mean to like diss the Blue Jays. However,
Okay, but even if you are a Blue Jays fan, I'm sure you can see that every single time they start to get good, the second they start to get good, and they have to pay players because good players aren't cheap, obviously. Then they like go, nah.
hey,
I don't want a championship. I'm good. It's true.
no, you know what? All Blue Jays fans, we know we're in a rebuilding stage. We signed that amazing South Korean pitcher.
Every single year.
I mean, like we have Bo Bichette, Cavan Biggio, Vladdy Guerrero Jr. Great farm system. We have that pitcher from South Korea. I forgot the name. I apologize because I'm South Korean. I should remember the name.
I was gonna say you're Korean.
Thank you, Sarah. So, but you know, I do agree with you. We have a rebuilding stage. I am thinking in 2-3 years we'll be able to compete. Not now. I agree with you on that.
But the thing is like in 2-3 years they're gonna do the same thing and go, I don't want to win. Trade these people. They're too expensive.
Yeah, that is the problem right now. The Rogers family isn't really opening up the wallet. Hopefully, maybe nothing against the Rogers family at all. I'm just thinking, man.
Maybe they should get a new owner who wants to put the money out there.
I gotta be biased, Sarah, because they gave me media passes in the past, so I can't like really say anything negative towards the Rogers family. But but basically, well, it remains to be seen. I think we have a great future. I think as long as we can keep I'm sure the Rogers family will want to keep that core young talent we have there, and then we'll be winners in 1, 2, 3 years, and we'll have a parade like the Raptors championship.
Sure.
But yes, Sarah. But thank you so much for coming on the show. I really appreciate it. Taking your time off like this. Do you want to give the audience your Instagram handle so they can follow your amazing Instagram handle?
Tommy's gonna put it right here. If he doesn't, I'm gonna get mad. It's at SARTAPLIN. Tommy, you better put it in this time.
I did last time. What are you talking about? But but Sarah, thank you so much again for joining us. Do you have any final thoughts? Any final quick thoughts before we go?
Everyone, stay hydrated because it's getting warm out there. I hope you're all safe and sound, having a good end of quarantine, hopefully. I know things aren't going to be the same until there's a vaccine or things get better, but wish you all safe and sound and healthy lives.
And well put, Sarah. Thank you for those kind heads up on us. And thank you for coming on the show. And thank you, everyone, for joining us for another great episode of Tea Time with Tommy and Sarah. Take care, guys. Have a good one.